Someone in my dream somehow told me that my husband was cheating on me. Spooky story time. A follower named Inez sent me the story, and she said that her and her husband were together for a very long time. They got engaged and then they got married. At this point in their time, they had been married for about 8 years and they had 2 children. They seemed to be very happy. He worked in the oil fields and she was kind of used to his on again, off again, I'm home, I'm leaving kind of schedule. Nothing was ever weird, nothing was ever off until she started having these crazy, vivid dreams. She said that her very first dream was her dropping off lunch to her husband at the job site unannounced. She had this random girl that she's never seen on the passenger side of her vehicle, and this girl was like whispering stuff in her ear like, I need you to drive faster, I need you to get there, I have a feeling that he's doing something, I have a feeling that he's doing something. And she's like, okay, yeah. And in her dream she felt like this person was a friend. She gets there again unannounced, parks by his truck, and he is in that truck with another woman. Of course she wakes up and she's like, okay, what was that about? Talks to her husband about it and he's like, that's weird. Like, first of all, I would never do that. Second of all, who was that person that was telling you things? Inez was like, I have no idea. I've never seen her before in my entire life. And then the dreams started to come daily. Second night, again, this random person is knocking on her door and she's like, hey, I was on my way to the supermarket. I saw your husband driving past me, going to this nail salon with another girl. And she's like, what? And she's like, come on, let's go. They get in the vehicle. Now, whoever this random girl is driving this time. Driving to the supermarket. Apparently, there was some nail salon right next door to the supermarket. She peeks into the window, and there is her husband with another girl. Again, tells her husband, and he's like, all right, this is getting kind of crazy. Now you're accusing me of things, and you need to stop. Inez was like, yeah, you're right. Maybe it's just my imagination. Now I'm freaking out. Like, everything's fine. Day 3. Another dream. This dream, her husband is barbecuing in the backyard, and here comes this random girl, her friend, and is like, I need to see Rodrigo. We're just gonna call him Rodrigo. She's waving her phone at Inez and is like, did you see this? Someone posted a video and he was in the background making out with this girl. Fast forward, Inez wakes up and she's like, all right, I'm just gonna ignore it. My husband is upset about this. I'm not gonna make this into a big deal. About 3 weeks later, she is driving to the supermarket. She sees a truck that looks like her husband's. And she's like, I thought he was out of town working. So she follows it. She's like, whatever. Pulls into the supermarket parking lot, kind of follows it around. There is, in fact, a nail salon adjacent to the supermarket. And she just parks there. She's just looking. She's watching and she's like, I'm tripping. Everything is fine. Her husband gets off of the truck, comes around, opens the passenger door, and here is a woman. Hell no. He's holding her hand and they are walking towards the nail salon. You guessed it. Obviously, things unraveled. She left him. Long story short, who was this mystery woman? Her friend that kept on appearing in her dream. In one of those dreams, it ended up actually happening. Like, what is going on? But shout out to this ghost girl for being a girl's girl, because what do you guys think? Was this a ghost? Was this the universe trying to tell her something? Or was this a glitch in the matrix? Let me know what you guys think. And also, if you guys have a spooky story that you'd like for me to read, please send it via DM or email, because I'd love to read it. And I will see you guys in the next spooky story. Bye!
Get ready with me while I tell you how my ex cheated on me. Okay, so just for some context, I met this guy at the end of 2023. We kind of like met through Instagram. I guess we had like some mutuals. He does not live in the UK, so we were just like, you know, texting a bit, and then he came to the UK because he had a job here, and then we met up, and honestly it was great. Like, there was a lot of effort from his side. And then month of December in 2023, he flew to the UK, I think like twice. So guys, there was like 24/7 texting and a lot of effort. So I was like, green flag. Okay, probably a month into dating, we confessed our feelings which is, you know, pretty early, I know. So I just went with it because it felt good at the time. 2 weeks later, because we said that we don't want to be with anyone else, I was like, okay, so like if we don't want to be with anyone else, we might as well just like be girlfriend, boyfriend. His reaction was this. And then kissed me. Oh, and the fuck was that? And he proceeds to tell me that he has a block when it comes to relationships. I said to him, of course, absolutely no problem. Whenever you're ready, let me know. This is like mid-Jan. From there, I'm not even kidding. Every month I checked in and I was like, so how we doing? Any advancement? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So then Valentine's Day came around. Didn't send me flowers, nothing. But we were saying I love you, everything. But we weren't girlfriend and boyfriend. Again, I kept asking him. He was like, sorry, I'm not ready yet. All the same, like the same bullshit the whole fucking time. In March, guys, I was developing really, really bad anxiety. I'm talking like throwing up because of anxiety. In March, I just had a feeling that something wasn't right. So I go and check like his following, which I've never done ever before. And he always was following new girls, liking their photos and I don't know what. And I was like, I don't even want to know what else you're doing. So I confronted him and he was like, oh, sorry, like in my mind, I'm still single. Yeah, let that sink in. Let that sink in. He was like, I know I'm not like, you know, like you're my woman, but he would never call me his girlfriend. I should have known there and then. I should have known and just run, but it didn't. Everything went absolutely downhill. He was giving me less effort. I think the last time we saw each other was March for like 2 months, and I could just tell that like shit was not right. I had gifted him a photo of us, like framed, and he had put it in his kitchen. And sometimes he would send me videos of him like playing the piano, and the picture frame wasn't there. So I asked him, I was like, why is it not there? Like, it's a bit weird. He also learned playing the piano because of me. I taught him, and he bought a piano because of me. His answer was, oh, my mom's friend who was an electrician came by, and he was looking at the radiator. Electrician looking at the radiator. Okay. And I just don't like when, like, personal things are lying around. Guys, when someone tells you that they love you, you're just gonna believe that. You're just gonna believe it. That man was also in a toxic relationship with his work. I went to an audition, for like a dream job. I got the job. The plan was that I go to his for a few days and then fly to the job after. Guys, on the day where I got the confirmation that I got the job, he calls me, and on the day that I got the job, he tells me on FaceTime, I'm not sure if I'm still in love with you. Guys, he shattered my heart into 5 million pieces. When I tell you this guy was like telling me about like moving in together and like a family and future and I don't fucking know what, and then that, I was fucking freaking out. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna hop on a fucking plane tomorrow and we're gonna sort this out because what the fuck? Like, you're telling me you love me all these months and now, sorry? It's the worst 3 days of my life because would not see what he did wrong, but at the same time, he would never scream at me, nothing. Was never like abusive in any way, you know? But yeah, I found an earring in his bedroom and I found makeup wipes in his bedroom. And we agreed to kind of like go on a break for 2 weeks. The break was like fine because I had a lot of time to think. After the break, we talked and he proceeds to tell me that in those 2 weeks the love came back and he was missing me. Crazy narcissistic behavior. Crazy. I obviously realized that I'm a fucking bad bitch and that no man should be treating me like that. Because, guys, I was so patient, so understanding the whole time and would not like accuse him of anything until I found a fucking earring and makeup wipes. And so basically we ended up breaking up because I was like, you're a fucking idiot, you're a moron if you think that we can still be friends, because he was like I can't be in a relationship all this, da-da-da. And then he still wanted me to like stay in his life. I was like, no. Now to the actual how I found out. One of my friends went abroad. She was like, oh, like I was talking to this girl, like, oh, I'm really good friends with her. She really likes you and she thinks you're so cool. And I was like, what the fuck is this bitch? I've never heard of her. And she was like, yeah, you shared a man with her. Hold on a second. Excuse me? I messaged this girl because I'm like, let me find out what this is all about, right? I messaged her. She's the sweetest girl. Guys, she tells me that she was dating my ex while I started talking to him. So the whole month of December, when he already had said to me that he loved me, he was basically in a relationship with her, but it was like copy paste the same thing with me. He would not admit that he was in a relationship. He would tell her that she's the best, she's the only one, that he loves her so much, but would never actually be like, you're my girlfriend. Copy paste the same fucking thing. So the whole month of December, he cheated on her with me while he was also messaging and going on dinner dates, probably hooking up with his ex that I knew about. Oh, I also found photos of them in his cupboard still. So yeah, screwing 3 girls at the same time, probably even more, but those are the 3, me included, that I know about. He then proceeds to still text that girl that I was, that I got all the information from until March. No wonder he had like his WhatsApp and everything like double secure, when you need to put in another code. Yeah. Would never leave his phone alone with me, ever. No fucking wonder, man. And then the whole time we were still together, he was hooking up with multiple women where he lives, but also abroad. And apparently he's got this reputation, like people around him know. Guys, I met his family. Even though he was doing that, like he was screwing other girls. Multiple. Yeah. So that's that. It explains the taking off the frame. It explains the makeup line. Yeah. It explains a lot. What do we learn from that? Trust your fucking gut. I had anxiety and my body knew what was happening. My body was trying to tell me, fucking leave. He's still sad and alone and is never gonna grow from this. But I did. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible, but this video is way overdue and so many people have so many questions and keep asking me about it, so I figured I'd just make a video explaining everything. So about 2 months ago, I was on the phone with my fiance at the time, and we were on the phone for quite some time. It literally came out of the blue, but I had to pry it out of him, mind you. Okay, and we were on FaceTime because he was out of town for work. And he wasn't going to be home for like another 10 days or so. Well, it got to the point where he was starting to seem a little like off, and I kept asking him like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? You seem like not focused. You're acting a little weird. And his first response was, no, I'm just tired. It's been a long day at work. So I proceeded to keep talking to him about my day and all the other things we had coming up, and I just noticed he wasn't like listening to me. So I kept asking him like, are you sure you're okay? Like, you just seem off. So then after me doing this for like probably a good 10 minutes, he finally goes, I'm just stressed. I'm like, okay, what about? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, just tell me, like, quit beating around the bush at this point. And he finally just out of the blue says, I just don't want to be with you anymore. I'm unhappy. And I've been unhappy for a while. So naturally, I'm like, what? Because mind you, that morning, he was texting me, good morning, beautiful. I love you. I hope you have a great day. I do have the screenshots for proof because I come with receipts. But also he acknowledged our anniversary. Now, we don't celebrate like month anniversaries, but we always acknowledge them. And that was our 4-year and 3-month anniversary, if I'm being exact. So anyway, we're talking. I just got to the point where I'm like, you've clearly made up your mind. Like, you don't even seem sad, remorseful, nothing. Like, what? Like, so of course my mind went to instantly, okay, who is she? He swore up and down there was no one else. He's just been unhappy for a long time. And I'm like, well, again, this is news to me because what? You were just home and everything was fine. So anyway, he just did not seem present. He gave 0, if you know what I'm saying. And I was like hysterical, crying my eyes out. So it got to the point where I'm like, you know what? You clearly don't care. There's nothing else I have to say. You've clearly made up your mind. Like, I'm getting off the phone. So we hang up. I didn't hear from him at all. Like, we didn't talk for days. But let me back up, because the day before I noticed he had added Snapchat. And the only reason I found that out is because I was getting ready to go to bed. Normally he says goodnight. I didn't hear from him. So I had texted him after I got off one of my jewelry lives and nothing. So it's like, okay, he just fell asleep. Well, I'm scrolling in bed and doing all the things, checking notifications. And I had a notification on Snapchat that said I had a new friend request. Well, it wasn't a new friend request. It was actually someone in my contacts who had added Snap, and it was him. So after I had texted him like goodnight, I sent him another text and said, by the way, did you create a Snapchat again? And a backstory with that, when we first started dating, we had issues with Snap because he was getting videos from other women doing things inappropriately to themselves. Anyway, it almost caused us to break up, but he decided, you know, it's not worth it. I'll get rid of the whole thing. So he's been without it for 4 years, okay? Well, I'm getting ready for bed. I was scrolling for like a good 30 minutes, and he finally texts me, and he goes, oh, sorry, I've been in and out of sleep. And yes, I did read down Snapchat. I've been without it for 4 years. I thought it was about time. So my response was, okay. Okay, so now fast forward to the day after he ended things with me over the phone because of me prying. So my best friend was texting me like crazy. I didn't get these text messages because I was asleep, but I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom, and I happened to grab my phone and look at it, and I happened to check the messages, and she said, what the heck is going on? Because he had changed his profile picture, hid his relationship status, so I wasn't even like anywhere on there anymore. Which I get, you just ended things with me, but it hasn't even been an hour. So anyway, I texted him the next morning, and I just basically said, like, this is really hurtful. Like, do you not see how hurtful this is? Like, this is so fresh, and like, you just seem so eager to be single. So his response was some lame, corny excuse, like, I was speaking from the heart, Lauren. Anyway, stupid. That was it. Anyway, days go by. I had a lot of time to reflect, process all the things in this time, but 4 days had gone by. I decided to go live again because I have a business to run. So I get on live with no intention of speaking on it at all. But someone came in my live that I hadn't seen in a very long time. They were like, oh my God, have you been? What's new? I haven't seen you since you were in Virginia Beach. And my brain instantly went to, well, let's see, my fiance just ended things with me out of the blue. I burned my hand on a crock pot. You know, I was just talking about all the things that had happened to me in the day. And I was fine. Was not emotional at all. But I got emotional because someone had asked me what's going to happen with Lola. Lola was his dog, but AKA my dog, because I raised her for the last 4 years while he was out of town working and never home. So of course I lose it. I start bawling hysterically on live. I had him blocked at this point, but someone was watching because the next thing I know, I'm getting text message from him threatening me, reminding me like who pays the electric bill and who's on the cell phone plan and this and that and the other. So what does he do? He cuts me off of the internet, so I couldn't run my business for a week and a half, threatening to cancel my phone line. Luckily, my best friend came through and was like, go to AT&T. I got you set up. I already went there. Anyway, got that figured out. So then, of course, more threats. He's telling me get the out of his house, all these things, like just erratic behavior, and telling me I need to watch my mouth and what I say on TikTok, basically trying to silence me. And first of all, you're not going to silence me. I'm going through a really hard time. I'm allowed to talk about it. And I wasn't talking shit about you, but if I want to, I could. So a week goes by, he's still out of town. He finally shows up on like a Saturday morning, and I had told him, you need to let me know when you're going to come home because I want my stepdad or the cops to be here because I don't feel safe with you. And he like made a joke out about it, was like laughing and like mocking me. Well, the day he shows up, he comes knocking on my door. Lauren, the cops are here and they want to talk to you. So I go outside and the cops are like, hi, so we're here because he called and told us the situation. And I'm like, what situation is that? And they were like, well, he called us and told us what was going on, and he just wants a peaceful transition with no problems. And I literally laughed and said, that's funny because the text messages I have from him say otherwise. So anyway, they asked if I needed help or whatever, and I was like, no, I'm fine, but like, what? So they leave. He comes into my room with these, I call them Temu papers because they had stains and like scratch marks all over them. Basically a template that someone printed off. It's probably his new girl that he's with now. Anyway, trying to say he's serving me to like get me kicked out in 3 days. And I said, well, that's funny. I know my rights. I talked to an attorney. Like, this is complete BS. So I laughed and I threw the papers, and he picked them up and took off with them. I do have screenshots of those as well. So at this point, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to try to stay in the house any longer. Let me just pack my shit and get out as fast as I can. Well, it was on a weekend. Sundays, the storage unit was closed, so I at least had it reserved. Monday morning, I went to go get a U-Haul, get my stuff in the storage unit, and I was out of there. Well, he ended up blocking me on Facebook. And then the next morning, after I had moved out, he forgot to block my parents and my best friends and like half of my friends. Well, he decided to post his new relationship. The idiot forgot to block my parents. So my stepdad was the one who found out that he was cheating on me with another girl living a whole double life. So of course, naturally, I'm like, okay, this girl, there's no way this girl didn't know about me. Oh, well, she did, because my best friend messaged her and was like, did you know he had a whole ass fiance? Like, how could you be okay with that? And you know what her response was? Word for word, her response was, I don't give a, and neither does he. So she knew about me. What's comical is she put all of her social media private, and then she ended up putting it on public, and one of my followers found her TikTok page, and she had posted some really hysterical video compilation pictures of the two of them, basically saying like, oh, I'm so thankful that God brought you to me. And I'm like, bitch, God does not bring married or taken men to you. The worst part about it all is that he literally stripped me from the home that I took care of. I ran my business out of. He sabotaged my business. I couldn't run my business for almost 2 weeks. Luckily, my parents lived right up the road, so I'm staying with them. Luckily, I had a place to go. But before we moved to Texas, I sold my truck. He traded his car in, or his truck in, for a car that I drove because he said it would be mine because he had a work truck. Convenient, right? So not only did I not have a place to live, I didn't have a vehicle, and he took the dog that I cared for more than anything in this world away from me. There's a lot more to it, but that's kind of everything in a nutshell. You guys have been asking me every time I'm on live what happened, because a lot of you guys saw him. He was in my lives. He was part of my life for 4 years. So obviously you guys are going to have questions about where he is and what the heck happened. So that's what happened. I'm sorry this was so long, but it is what it is, you know? F him.
Story time on how I found out that my friend was sleeping with my husband. I just want to start by saying I'm not married to him anymore, and me and her are not friends. And me and her were never close friends until she started seeing him, which I didn't know, obviously. But before that, we were just like mutual friends, and we'd text every now and then, but we weren't close. So I'm just gonna start from the very beginning. So on September 29th of 2024, it was mine and his baby shower. And the night before, we had gotten in a pretty big fight, which we did not have a very healthy relationship, so this wasn't anything new. The day of the baby shower, we had the baby shower, and then after we got in a fight and he kicked me out of our apartment, which also was nothing out of the ordinary for us. We would always fight and go back to each other. We never officially broke up or got divorced or anything like that, obviously until after everything, but that was just normal for us. We had a very toxic relationship. So anyways, baby shower, September 29th, he kicked me out. And October 2nd of 2024 is the first time that she hung out with him, which I didn't know this at the time. I didn't find out till the end of October about everything. But from what I was told, they, I think, went mudding, and then she went and stayed the night at our apartment, which I think you can put 2 and 2 together on what was going on. So anyways, I didn't find out about everything till October 23rd, which was the messages from that viral TikTok that I had. So the way that I found out, I don't know why, but I just woke up that morning and I just had a feeling to just check her Facebook page. And I don't really know why. So I went on there and I saw that she was friends with his coworker's wife, which was really strange because she's an older lady, like 10 years older than us, so that's someone she wouldn't have just known. So I thought that was very strange. And so I'm starting to think about things, which I'll say everything that happened in between the time she started seeing him and I found out, which I didn't really put two and two together because obviously I was just going through it. Me and my husband, I didn't know what was going on. I was about to give birth to our little girl the next month, and I just wasn't in a good headspace, so I wasn't thinking how I normally would be. So anyways, I was obviously very emotional. I was 8 months pregnant, and I was putting two and two together, so I was obviously expecting the worst, which happened to be the truth. And so I had texted one of my other friends who used to be friends with this girl, but they're not anymore because of the whole situation, obviously. And I just told her, I think one of my friends is being shady behind my back, and I'm not really 100% sure, but, you know. And she basically just confirmed it for me, said that she said so-and-so, and I was like, yeah, how did you know that? And she explained the whole situation, and she's like, I've been wanting to tell you, but I didn't really know what to do, because it's not necessarily my place, and she kept saying she was going to tell you, but I just feel too bad, because, like, you deserve to know when someone's sleeping with your husband behind your back and doing all this stuff, so. Okay, so some of the things that happened in between then, which I wish I would have seen, but, to start off with, at the beginning of October, she was saying stuff like, oh, your husband added me on Snap, which that's so weird, blah, 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 and I was like, okay, like, don't add him back. And then she goes to say, oh, we have a streak, apparently. I didn't realize that, which I thought that was very strange, but I just kind of, like, brushed it to the side. So after that, she said that she was going to text him and say how weird it was that he was texting someone when he had a wife, and she said that he didn't say anything, like he just sent a blank snap, and asked if I wanted her to stop texting him. She definitely will, or if she wants me to keep texting him because she can be an inside. I said, no, don't text him, just unadd him, you know, like, leave it alone, you know. So this is why I was thinking it was very strange, because she would just, like, randomly bring up, oh, he's at Home Depot, you should show up here. Okay, that's very strange. Why would I do that? She would basically just be saying things and, like, oh, you should text him this, and you should say this to get him back, which she was setting me up for failure, basically, because she was seeing him, so I don't know. This whole time, she was also talking about some guy that she had been seeing previously, like, days before she started seeing my ex-husband, and we would talk about that, and it would just be like, oh, like, he's leaving me undelivered, or, oh, he's doing this, he's that, whatever, and I would just give her advice on how to go about that situation. That way they could try and work out, because she seemed like she was so into this guy. That's another reason why I didn't really think she would be one of the people sleeping with him behind my back. So another thing, she was asking me questions about, like, if I was progressing, like, with dilation, or just stuff about labor, trying to figure out when I was going into labor and stuff like that. And she was saying, like, if you ever need a babysitter, let me know, and I'll watch her, or if you need a ride home from the hospital, I'll take you. And there's a lot more messages than that. I don't think I had taken all of the messages off my phone before I had blocked her, but basically the whole time she was just like letting me confide in her, and basically looking back at it now, she's trying to get me to make a fool of myself by telling me to do all these things, knowing that he has her attention. So, and I don't remember if I had said this, but I showed in the messages where she was offering to like bring me home from the hospital and babysit and everything else, like buy me things, which at the time I thought she was just being like a really sweet friend, you know, which I mean, me and her still, we weren't the closest, but I was confiding in her at the time and everything, and yeah. And I don't have the messages on this, but another thing that was filled in on was she was buying stuff for him, like for our daughter to stay at the apartment, like a crib, which is very strange because she only knew him for like a week at the time. So why are you buying this guy something for his kid? They were just making plans to basically have her be my daughter's mom, which was very, very strange in my eyes. Anyways, I don't have a lot of time left. I don't want to try and make this all in one part. So after everything, like after I found out and everything, she got rid of my furniture from the apartment for free, which I'll include that in this. She lied to everyone, like in his family, about what was really going on. Basically just tried to make it seem like I was being crazy and overreacting. She would text him she would text me off of his phone, I'm sorry. Which obviously I could tell because I know how my husband types, and I know that it wasn't like that. She also ran away when I ran into her at Target, like literally took off full-on sprinting, which if that doesn't say you're guilty enough, eh.
Get ready with me while I tell you about the time I found out my ex cheated on me not once, but twice. So this was a really long time ago. I have to preface that because I would not make the same decisions that I did today. Also, he's gonna see this, so hello. If I get anything wrong, feel free to comment since you love to watch my shit. Anyways, little backstory before we get into it. I met him on Tinder. I instantly really liked him. He seemed really successful. He worked at a construction business with his dad, and he was a really hardworking guy, very kind. Instantly liked him. It didn't take long before we made it official, started dating, and within just a couple of months he moved into my apartment with me. He was always pretty protective over his phone, which I definitely picked up on and was like, okay, red flag. But also because he worked at that construction company with his dad, he would just randomly be like, oh, I have a job, I have to go at random times, which I never really thought was suspicious, until it started getting pretty late, and I'm like, what are you doing at 8 p.m? So because of this, I was determined to get into that man's phone. So I watched him type in his password, learned it, waited until he went to sleep, and went for it. I would be lying if I said I was proud of this, okay? But we had to know. So what did I find in this man's phone? I found an unsaved number that he had been calling and texting a lot. And a lot of the messages were just planning meetups and then I'm here kind of messages. So I'm a little crazy, and I decide I'm gonna figure out who this person is. So what do? I decide that I'm going to text that number on my own personal phone and find out who they are. Now at this time, I have no shame whatsoever. I immediately text hey, it's Caitlin, I got your number off of my ex's phone. Who are you? Basically. And she let me know that she was his ex. And I was like, well, we are together. I want to make sure you know that information. Because to me, if someone's oh, this person has a girlfriend, I'm going to be okay, this and this happened right then and there, right? She didn't. She reassured me that like they weren't doing anything, and that she was pregnant and he was just essentially helping her out. Now, of course, I talked to him about this because I'm like, okay, I want to believe you're like just like a nice person and you're doing this, whatever. And that's basically what he said. Like, they didn't just break up. They'd been broken up for a little while, and she, you know, had gotten with someone else and gotten pregnant. So, of course, this rubbed me the wrong way, but I just thought this girl has no reason to lie to me. You know, she seemed pretty genuine and pretty nice. Like, if something was going on, she would tell me, because why wouldn't she? So now fast forward like 6 months later, I'm just sitting there, and I get a text from her on Facebook. She messaged me on Facebook, and he's sitting right next to me, and I'm like, oh, like your ex just texted me on Facebook. I, to this day, wonder what was going through that man's head, because he said nothing. He said nothing. This conversation was nothing like the first conversation we had. It wasn't a nice, like, hey, girly text. It was here's a bunch of screenshots, and yeah, like, your man. Like, your man doesn't want you, he wants me. Like, all this crazy stuff. Keep in mind, you guys, at this point, she's got to be, like, 8 months pregnant. And I'm like, girl. But, yeah, the screenshots were pretty bad. She also sent me a video of them doing the nasty. So, I had to see that, which was frightening. But all of the screenshots and everything were around, like, that original time that I texted her. So, I was a little silly girl. And we talked it out. I decided to forgive him because when this happened, we'd only been together for a couple of months. So, stupid, but I did. Things were naturally extremely rocky. After that, I could not trust this man at all. So, we agreed that I would have basically unlimited access to his phone and his location at all times. Looking back at this time in my life, though, I feel so sad for me. Like, I should have just called it. I was never going to trust that man at all. And I never did. I never did. His phone looked pretty good there for a while, though. But it was almost, like, too good. You know what I'm saying? Suspiciously good. But, so I'm on my own phone one day. And I see, like, in my, like, add friends, there was an account with his name that wasn't the account that, like, I had access to. So, yeah, of course I confront him about this Snapchat account. He says, oh, like, it's just an old account. I don't get on it, which obviously I knew was a dirty fucking lie. So I basically tell him, like, okay, like, if it's an old account, then, like, unlock it for me. Like, put in your password. Like, let's look at it. And he's like, oh, no, like, I can't get in it. Like, I don't remember the password. So now I'm on Operation Get in that Snapchat. But he was smart with it. He didn't have, like, the username, the password, or anything, like, saved on his phone. So I had to wait. One day when I came home, he was napping on the couch, and I snatched up that little phone, as I love to do when he was sleeping. Open up Snapchat, and that account that was deactivated was logged in. And there was all the evidence I needed. Hitting up multiple girls. His ex was on there. Shocker. Asking for nudes, planning meetups, the whole 9 yards. And were we surprised? Absolutely not. This time, though, I was absolutely done with the BS, and we broke up. And then not long after, he showed up to my house with a pew-pew. But that's a story for another time. If you stayed this long and watched, thank you so much. Moral of the story is, if a man cheats on you and you forgive him, he's gonna think you're gonna forgive him every single time. So just don't. They never change.
Story time on how I found out my boyfriend of 7 months was cheating on me with his girl best friend. So first, I just want to give a little backstory to the relationship. That we were dating for 7 months, and then at the middle of March, we had taken a little break, and by little, I mean like 2 weeks maybe, because he had done something extremely heinous to me, which that's another story time. Also, I want to preface, if he has a girl best friend, please trust your intuition and don't second guess yourself for a second. I really wish that I had just listened to my gut, but I was so in love with this man, I would have followed him blindly, and I'm so happy that the truth came to me, because I would have never known. And also, this is my page, so whenever I want to post on my page, if you don't like it, block me. Simple. Okay, so let's just jump right into the story time. The last week that we were together, we went on numerous dates. fun dates. Like, I had so much fun. It's genuinely felt like whenever you give a dog like their last day, like you give them chocolate and all of that, it's so cruel, but that's exactly how it felt for whatever reason. So in my head, I'm thinking that we're good, you know, because we're going on dates, we're having like good discussions, he's telling me how he feels, and I'm like really trying to help him with like himself, pretty much. We're talking about the future and everything. So again, I'm in my head, I'm like, we're good, okay? So Friday comes around. Friday, he's at work, he's working, and he's helping move out of like a building or something, and he spent his entire childhood there. But again, this was unbeknownst to me because that morning I had sent him a message that he left on read, and he did not respond to me for another 12 hours. He responded at 10 p.m. that night. And in my head, that nothing good ever comes out of that, right? Instead of being a man and just telling me how he really felt, he lied and he put on a facade to, I don't know, for whatever reason, because we broke up anyways. So I don't respond to him. I just go to bed because I was crying that entire day. Like, of course I was doing things, but I was sad. You know, girl was in her feelings. Like, you had me look stupid. I forgave you for something terrible, and you're just gonna throw all of that forgiveness in my face for what? I still don't know. So Saturday comes around, he texts me, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, no, I'm not okay. Like, what makes you think that? And he's like, yeah, me either. So he ends up coming down here, and we talk in my car. He ends up just telling me that he can't be the man that I want or the man that I need because I'm too high demanding. He says that I want a nice house and I want a nice future, and he can't really do that right now. And I was like, babe, like, you said it yourself, future. We have this entire closure talk, whatever. Like, it was good and then it was bad because, you know, I'm not buying it. Like, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, we were doing so good. Like, I was literally talking with your grandma, and then all of a sudden it's, you don't want to be with me. Like, how does that work? Like, I just saw you the other day. So yeah, it just didn't make sense to me, and we're having a conversation, and we end the conversation on like a good-ish note, and he gets out of my car. I go inside, whatever. The following day, I noticed that he had followed his ex on all social medias, and I got really pissed about it. I did. So I blew up on him. Basically, because I was like, oh, if that was the reason why you wanted to break up, baby, just tell me. Like, don't make me think that it was something that I did or whatever. Like, just say that you want your ex, the one that cheated on you 5 times with different men and punched you in the face and broke your nose, allegedly. So anyways, I text one of his girl best friends. And this girl best friend had reached out to me whenever we broke up the first time and basically just said, I wasn't your friend just because he's your boyfriend. I actually really like you. And I always really liked her as well because she just seems so genuine. And to this day, I do think that she's genuine. But, you know, like, I'm really at war with my mind about what exactly she knew and she didn't know. But I can't really put that on her because she told me everything that I needed to know. So we're having a call, whatever, like, she's telling me, I don't know how he pulled you, yada, yada. And by the way, she wasn't the only person to come to me after the breakup. A lot of his friends came to me after the breakup, which I find kind of hilarious because those are your friends, but okay. So yeah, like, she's telling me all of this shit, and I'm getting mad at him because she basically said that they went to go play pool one day, him, his cousin, her, and another one of his friends, and he's like talking shit about me there for whatever reason. And she's saying that he was planning on breaking up with me, or saying that he had already broken up with me. It's kind of blurred right there. Like, I don't really know. So also, this is a week before we go on all of our dates. So, you know, he's talking shit about me. He's saying he's going to break up with me. He's saying that I'm not so innocent and all of this, that, and the third. I'm too soft for him. And then a week later, we're going on all these fabulous dates. Like, he's telling me all of this beautiful things that I want to hear. And they get drunk, playing pool. They go back to his house. And she wasn't going to tell me this at first, but I had said something about how I had helped him in Paris. And by help him, I sent him money that he still owes me. But I'll just add that to the tab of reparations, I guess. So yeah, she's like, wait a minute. When did you guys get back together? And I'm like, oh, this date. And she's like, Sophie. And immediately I'm like, no, I'm like, no, what is it? Okay, what is it? Don't tell me. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you guys were dating. If I knew that you were dating, I would have never. And I was like, never what? You would have never what? You would have never what? Please. She tells me that night after they play pool, she sleeps in his bed. And she goes to sleep and he starts kissing her when she's asleep. Which also, baby, this is not Snow White. This is not the Sleeping Beauty. Why are you kissing another woman when she's asleep? You're a freak of nature. I just had to get that off of my chest because that's disgusting. Like, you kiss a girl whenever she's asleep? Or, like, what? So anyway, she wakes up, they start doing stuff. I don't really know what they did. She tells me that they only kissed. He sang another story, so don't really know. So yeah, that's what she tells me, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I go to him, and I'm like, dude, you cheated on me? Like, that's why you broke up with me? And he's over here like, believe what you want to believe. Like, nothing that I say is going to matter to you, so just whatever. Baby, I sent him the screenshot that she sent me, and I was like, boy, I just want an apology. Like, take accountability for once. Like, take accountability for your actions. Like, don't sit here and say, believe what you want to believe, yada, yada, yada. Like, are you kidding me? Be a man. Grab your huevos. Like, do something. So, yeah. He basically admitted to cheating on me, and he was like, I just didn't want your perception of me to change because you held me to high standards. Yeah, I did, because you got done so dirty by your ex that you say cheated on you 5 times allegedly and then punched you in the nose and broke it allegedly. So why would I do you like that? Like, I loved him so much. And to find out that he had done stuff with his girl best friend the day that I had to take my dog to the animal hospital, and I just like, it just sucked. Like, who was I dating the last week that we were dating? Like, you're giving me a false narrative. You're painting a false picture of yourself. It just fucking sucks. After we break up, of course, I go a little crazy, and, you know, like, I'm texting him all types of crazy and shit, and my friends are texting him all types of crazy because he had said that he wanted to slap the out of one of my friends, and who's a girl, so of course we're gonna defend her. And then his family comes out of the woodwork basically saying, like, I don't even know, like, calling my friend, stuff like that, asking to pull up to fight. Like, girl, do you see me? Do you see me? Babe, no. The fuck? Like, no. So anyways, like, it just sucked because there was a bunch of other things that came to light. Again, that will be another story time, but the way that he was just painting me out to be a deceiver and a liar for the sake of his career is actually crazy. What about my feelings? Like, what about how I felt? How about whenever you called me that night and told me to tell your friends that I lied about stuff that you know isn't a lie? And, like, it just kills me because not that I care about what his friends think anymore, but it's like, you can't even be honest with yourself. You can't be honest. Like, you say you're a man of God, but you're the farthest thing from it. Who are you? So yeah, after I found that out, I just kind of cut contact with everybody that he associates with. Like, I know his girl best friend, the one that he cheated on me with, was like giving me all my intel, and she's sweet. It's just, I can't look at her the same. Like, it genuinely breaks my heart knowing that he was not satisfied enough with me, and he just had to do something with her. And that night, I did have a dream that he broke up with me because he didn't want to wake up to my face the rest of his life. And I just find that really symbolic. So again, trust your gut, trust your intuition, and that's it.
If you're ever curious what it's like to date in today's day and age, I want you to reference back to the story that I'm about to tell you. I was seeing this man who I was pretty infatuated with. I'm not gonna lie. We had gone on a good number of dates, and the feelings were growing, and they were very mutual, or so that I thought, okay? And until this moment, I thought that this was about to be my man, my man, my man. I had met some of the people in this man's family. We'd spent time with them. We were very much in alignment. Like, he checked off all the boxes for me. Like, this was going in the right direction. Until one night we had gone on a date, and after the date was over, we ended up going back to his place. And at this point, I can't remember if I had already started sleeping with this man or not, but I'm pretty sure that this was the first time that we had slept together. And it was great, no complaints. We're laying in bed after the deed was done, and we started to like get dressed. I was like, oh, I have to work in the morning. I can't stay the night. I don't do sleepovers usually, by the way. But I'm looking for my clothes, and it's dark in the room, and he's like getting up and, you know, trying to get dressed, and I'm doing the same. I was like, hey, can you throw me my pants? And he was like, yeah, no problem. So he's like looking around to grab like the rest of my clothes, to toss the clothes on the bed to me. And he throws over my underwear, and he turns the light on, and I'm like, are you sleeping with someone else? And he was like, no. Why would you think that? Like, we've been seeing each other pretty consistently. Why would you assume I'm sleeping with someone else? I said, because you just threw someone else's underwear at me. Like, those aren't mine. And he was like, stop playing. Those are definitely yours. They have to be yours. I'm not sleeping with anybody else. And I was like, those aren't mine, because guess what? I didn't wear underwear tonight. Which is not that uncommon, by the way. I don't know if that's crazy for me to say out loud, but whatever I was wearing didn't require me to wear underwear. So he threw a pair of panties at me that were not mine. I looked at him. He looks at me. This is where I get up and leave. This is where I exit stage left. He then tried to obviously talk his way out of it. And now that I think about it, we had already slept together at this point, because he was like, oh, they're probably yours from like another time. I'm like, how are you going to tell me that those are my underwear? I've never seen those in my entire life. Those are not my underwear. You want to know why I know they're not my underwear? Because I told you I don't wear underwear. They're not mine. There was a split second where I was like, maybe you should give this man the benefit of the doubt, Aubrey. Maybe these underwear are old. And I'm so glad that I didn't, and I trusted my gut, because guess who popped out with a whole ass baby very shortly after that situation happened? Has anyone else caught up their person or been caught up themselves because of an article of clothing in their bedroom and or house? I would love to know if I'm not the only one. I think back to so many times in my 20s where I ignored that gut feeling. I ignored my intuition, and every single time it bit me in the ass. So if you're watching this and you're a woman, your intuition, that gut feeling, it's a superpower. Follow it every single time.
I'm done. I bought my tanning oil. I bought a spray bottle. I listened to all y'all's suggestions. I even got a fun little drink to make sure I stayed outside longer. And guess what? Nothing at all. Nothing. I was outside for 3 hours. Yeah. The UV was 7. Okay. Not amazing, but definitely able to get a tan. Tell me why I still look like a ghost. I'm just accepting my fate. Maybe I'm not a tanning girly, because this never normally happens to me. I don't know if it's just something wrong with the sun in Washington, but something is up. But look at my freckles. They're kind of coming out. But guys, I was like breaking out so bad. Like, you can see like my pimples right here and then like right here. And if you scroll back like 2 videos ago, they were really bad, and they were like really bad. But I like fried them off in the sun today. So don't even fret, guys. That's what I do. Whenever my acne gets bad, I just go in the sun, and and I also started my period, so that's probably why. Had to start at the beginning of summer, of course. Right before I'm about to go on a camping trip. Like, no. Okay, no. I literally tortured myself and fried myself outside for nothing. For nothing, guys. I listened to music. I tried to distract myself. I even called my boyfriend. Still didn't work. And somehow I managed to look paler than whenever I first went outside. Oh, wow. It's fine, guys. It's fine. It's the beginning of summer. I'm just really like competitive because me and Nico are having a tanning competition because I don't see him for a month. Well, I already haven't seen him for a month, but I don't see him till another month. And so we're going to see who can get the tannest before we see each other. And so far, I'm losing. No. Like, no. Anyways, everyone flood my comments with your best tanning suggestions. And I don't care what they are. They can be so diabolical. I don't even care. Just tell me them. Anyways, please let me know I'm not the only one. But yeah, I love you guys so much. And don't forget, Jesus loves you. Bye, all.
Get ready with me whilst I tell you some really funny but traumatic experiences I had when I was at school and being a social media girl. Starting off, I think this is one that a lot of people always get shocked about because they're like, no way people asked you this. But teachers used to always ask me like, oh, how much do you earn a year? And like all these really, really personal questions about like my money. And like I just always used to think I would never ask a teacher how much they earn, so why are they asking me? A lot of people always expected, like because I had a following on social media, that a lot of people wanted to be my friend. But I'd say it was the complete opposite. People was kind of like, I don't even know what it was, but people was just so weird with me and like just was rude all the time. Be like, oh, she's a TikTok girl, like she's so prestige. But none of them would even speak to me. Like I made some really good friends in younger years and my years, but everyone else just had such an opinion when they didn't know me, which is one thing I find with social media, and a lot of my friends had the same issues growing up on social media. It's really annoying. I think one of the most funny, memorable things is the rumours people used to make about me, which was so far from the truth. And it used to literally make me giggle so much because I'd be like, that's just not true. Like, basically, some girls was throwing balls at the back of my head in PE. And I felt really dizzy, so I went to the medical woman and they made me, like, tell them what happened. Because I was like, I don't really care, but I had to tell medical what happened. And then medical told pastoral, which is, like, the people that, like, try to sort out problems. And I remember I was like, oh, this is just going to get me so much more problems. And then the whole of year 8 and 9, I had a rumour going around that apparently my parents paid the school to get me out of trouble. And my dog's sneezing like mad. Are you okay? No, like, there was seriously a rumour going around that my parents owned part of the school. My parents paid the teachers not to get me in trouble. But in reality, they was all the ones that was being naughty and not me. That's why I just never got in trouble, because I was just the blooming victim of it all. But yeah, that was a very good rumour that went around. Everyone literally told everyone that my mum paid the school to get me out of trouble. Another thing was I was called Snobson because my last name's not actually Charlize, it's Hobson. And my whole school life, I was called Amelie Snobson because apparently I was a snob. In year 7, I had a red bag. So in year 7, most of the people used to call me Red Bag Girl because no one knew my name. If I ever had hate from anyone from school, like being horrible to me, and the school found out about it, the school would tell me to quit social media because that's the reason that I get hate. But, like, there would be kids that done dancing in my school that would get hate because they was, like, good at dancing. But they never got told to quit what they was passionate in doing. It was just because I done something different. If you want a part 2, let me know. I've got so much more.
You need to stop going to Las Vegas to gamble and instead take all the money you would have gambled with, give it to your girlfriend, and let her go buy everything she's ever wanted and more.
Story time of how I caught my boyfriend cheating on me with a woman. Yeah, I know. Certain details of this I'm having to leave out in order to protect this person's identity. Unfortunately, I am a nice person, I am kind, and even though this man did not give me any respect, I unfortunately still do treat people with respect. This is a story time you've all been waiting for. I'm finally here to deliver the tea. It is my birthday on Friday. We have just split up and it's just been a whole lot going on. Genuinely, I'm not bothered, I'm not sad, I'm not upset or depressed. Like, I have come to realise, thanks to God, that this man is not a good man for me. But anyway, let's get into it. We officially got together on Valentine's Day of this year. One morning, we got into a argument. We was in separate rooms. Now, at the time, he had 2 phones. One phone was for everything, and the other phone, I can't remember what he said that phone was for, but the only contacts on there was his mum and me that I was aware of. After our argument, I'm in the living room, he's in the bedroom. He's left one of his phones in the living room on charge, so I'm just sat there like not paying attention to that phone, but then all of a sudden it gets a notification. Something in my gut just tells me, check the phone. So I checked the phone and it was from a girl saying, but it was like a nickname, saying, have I done something to upset you? Kiss. I'm thinking, are you alright? Are you alright? So we just had an argument over me not trusting you because of something else, and now this has fell into my lap. So I go into the room, I give him the phone, and I'm like, are we good now? And he's like, yeah, cool, whatever. And I say, by the way, somebody's texted you. This man just starts going mad at me. And he's like, what? So you're trying to accuse me of cheating again after we just got over it? You're trying to... And I was like, no, I literally just told you, someone's messaged you. And him over the phone, that's when he started going mad at me. It's literally just a friend. I've known her for years. She's one of my women friends that I go to for advice on a certain situation. It's valid. The situation he was referring to, like, he was so good at lying, guys. I can't bring it up because I don't want to reveal any details about him, but it was valid in that moment. Cool, he had a really good explanation. He was quick on his feet. His reaction was very defensive, but at the end of the day, I wanted to have trust in our relationship and have trust in him. Being in my past situation with my ex, like, that has really scarred me for life. I'm a huge overthinker, and I can never differentiate of when I'm overthinking too much or if I'm actually experiencing something that needs to be addressed and I need to stand up for myself. Because my ex was such a gaslighter, genuinely, in life, in social situations, in friendships, in anything, I cannot differentiate when I'm overthinking or not because of the trauma that I faced in that relationship. And this man literally took complete advantage of that. He knew my situation and he still gaslit me. He still lied about so many things, but we're going to get into it anyway. But that day after the text message, we had gone and done a little content day, and I was editing the video I had done for him on his phone, on that phone that she had texted. I'm like, you know what? Let me just read these messages with this girl. I'm looking through the phone while he thinks I'm editing. There's no contacts there other than me, his mom. He said that he was slowly moving people's contacts onto this new phone. His friend was that important that she made it onto your phone, nobody else did. But the messages with her was gone. The messages from that number was gone. So he had deleted it. At the time, I didn't know that there was a hidden messages, deleted messages thing on iMessage. So I'm just a bit stupid. But yeah. I forgot to mention this, but he had told me that the reason she had texted him, have I done something to upset you, was because they've been friends for ages and she's not spoken to him in days. So he felt like, nah, I'm not putting up with this no more. Like, if anybody is just treating me dirty or not responding to me, I'm just not going to be friends with them anymore. So he told me that's why he deleted the contacts and the messages, because he was done with her that moment she had sent that message. As the days are going by, I keep seeing he's getting messages from this person, this woman. So I'm like, I need to look for this girl. So I got on his TikTok account and one of his old videos, she was in the comments. I did a little look, but I couldn't find anything, but I was still suspicious and I kept getting gut feelings that he was cheating. Even when I wasn't there with him, I was having these gut feelings that something was going on. They'd come out of nowhere. Like, everyone was telling me, trust your gut. But no, I wanted to trust this man. Like, I just thought I'm overthinking it. So I just kept ignoring my gut. Like, he would never show me his phone. He said at the start, like, I hope you're not on that looking on each other's phone type shit, because that's immature. Mind you, he's 15 years older than me. If you're not texting me on Snapchat, who are you texting? Because you're a grown-ass man, you're 15 years older than me. What are you doing? Like, grown-ass man, cool. The second time I looked, I actually clicked on the video. Her most recent video was videos of her in my man's place with, the caption said something like, glow you've got when you've got an amazing man in your life. Mind you, I was laying next to him on the couch when I saw this video. Are you taking the piss? My heart just dropped and I was texting my friend and I was like, what do I do? Like, I can literally see his furniture in the back of this video. Like, it's his place, 1000%. I just started crying and I was like, I'm leaving. And I was like, you had this girl in your place. Mind you, he's only been in this place this year, so it's crossed the lines of us being in a relationship. He was telling me those videos were from ages ago and he was like, I didn't want to tell you because I've had such trauma in the past with relationships. He told me this big long story about how his ex was abusive towards him because she didn't have trust in him, and since then it's really shielded his, like, trust. He didn't want to tell me that this friend of his had come to see him in his new place because he didn't want me to get jealous. Like, he felt like I had jealous tendencies and he didn't want it to be a toxic situation. This man was so good. He was so good at lying. He was so quick on his feet at lying, yeah. This man was the biggest gaslighter, and I can't believe it's took me so long to realise this. I believed everything he said. And then after that situation, he actually made me feel like shit for ever accusing him of cheating. The next day, like, when I was on the way home, I was crying because I was like, why did I ever accuse him of cheating? I felt so shitty. The whole time, he was actually seeing this woman behind my back. What the fuck? I was still getting gut feelings, so I ended up making a fake account and I messaged this girl. This bitch, she was good as well. Like, he must have been coaching her, yeah, because she was a liar as well. Like, she almost had me. But then I asked her one question. Me and my friend kind of saw that one of your videos was in his place. This girl tells me, babe, I was at my friend's birthday party, and she named a completely different city to where he lives. Bitch, I'm not stupid. I can see the furniture, I can see the picture frames in the back of this video. So now I've caught you in a lie. So I said that to her. She blocks me. All of a sudden he starts calling me. He's like, I feel like your energy's been weird this morning. Bitch, no it wasn't. But because she's just gone and told you that I clocked her shit, now you're wanting to come to me and get it out of me so you can manipulate me. So I ended up saying to him, yeah, well, I'm not gonna lie, I just messaged that girl on a fake account and I was trying to see information, like she said that she wasn't at your place when she was. He was like, yeah, but you gotta think, this is literally my friend, you're a random account messaging you, she don't know nothing about you, she don't know your intentions, she don't know who you are, so obviously she's not gonna tell you the truth. Gaslit me again, bro. This man was just so good. He was so good. Like, I was thinking I was crazy. Like, this man was making me think I was actually tapped. Like, he was making me think I'm actually tapped in the head. After that situation, I ended up going and getting my lashes done. And thank you, God. Thank you, God, for lash techs all around the world, because I would have never found out this man was doing this behind my back if it was not for my lash tech. Beauty babe by Nay, I love you. You're a real one. She's a real ass bitch. Go and get your lashes, your brows, your teeth, whatever done by her, because she is a real ass bitch. But I'm telling Nay all my situation. She was basically saying like, Keegan, nah, this does not sound good at all. She was like, I'm gonna request a follower, because the girl all of a sudden went to a private account after she had blocked me. Convenient, right? I'm like not thinking anything of it. Like, me and him have worked through these issues now, and I'm like, I trust him, it's fine. But if she wants to do that for me, I'm gonna let her, because she's looking out for me, innit? Like a week later, it was his birthday. That morning, I had posted this paragraph on all of my social media. Hundreds of people saw it across all my social medias, where I called him the most kindest, caringest, loving man. I can't wait to spend the rest of my time with you. How embarrassing. How truly embarrassing. Because 3, 4, 5, 6 hours later, Nay calls me and she's like, oh my God, babe, look. She sends me screenshots of this man on a date with this woman who he told me is a friend, with the hashtags, her calling him boyfriend, her love. The girl accepted Nay's follow request, thinking it was another girl messaging her about him. She changed her profile picture to a picture of her in his bedroom. She posted more videos in his bedroom, and it was like she was doing it to hit back at the person who she thought was messaging her about him, which was me on a fake account. She's a professional, proud hoe. She's a professional, proud hoe. I'm like absolutely gobsmacked, heartbroken, because he told me he was with family, yeah, and we had a previous situation where he had lied about where he was, but I can't talk about the reason why he told me that he lied, but it was another gaslighting situation. Obviously, guys, I know I'm gonna look stupid, yeah, but there's just certain things that I can't tell you guys. He started posting videos and pictures with dates and times on them to prove to me that he was in the correct place that he was at. This man fabricated a whole video of him with family celebrating his birthday. The whole time he was with her. The whole time. So anyway, I called him. I was absolutely heartbroken. I was crying. I was so done. And he was like, Keegan, just please let me explain everything in person. Stupidly, I went there to talk to him in person. I went with the intent to dead it off and end the relationship, but obviously he was good with how he talks, and he was good with his excuses, and he basically told me that like he'd been really struggling with money, which I had seen. He was smoking a lot. I had seen that. He was drinking a lot. I had seen that because he had to come out of work for personal reasons that I also don't want to delve in. And I was with him in that month to know that he was going through some mental crisis. He was upset. He was down in the dumps. He couldn't do anything. So he wasn't feeling good. He was telling me that he was kind of using her for money. She had been messaging him for a while, and he finally responded that she was paying for things. He showed me proof of transactions. So I believed him, and I said, this is your last chance. This is your last chance, because I'm a kind, loving person, but this is the last time you're gonna do me dirty, mate. The thing is, guys, after he cheated on me, I said to him, because he was really upset with me that I'd told my sister that he cheated. He didn't want me to tell anybody because he felt like it was a mistake that he made, and he didn't want anybody to have a false perception of him on something that was a complete mistake. So he wanted me to just be crying by myself and not tell anybody. Cool. Said, okay, so for my birthday, which is on Friday, come and meet my entire family. So if you ever cheat on me ever again, they will all know, and we will not get back together. So that's what was going to happen. He was meant to be coming and meeting my family this Friday. I've cancelled that now. He's not coming. I've told them all what he's done, and I will never ever get back with this man ever again. After that situation, he really improved. Like, everything I asked for from him, he delivered it. He treated me so much better. Everything, the reassurance I needed, he gave it me. There was just a lot more effort put in there. The only thing is, when this situation happened, I told him, listen, because of this now, I'm going to struggle to trust you. So if I'm ever skeptical, if I'm ever like a little bit untrusting of something you're doing, you can't get angry at me, you need to bear with me. This man agreed and said, yeah, completely understand, like, you're valid. Whenever I questioned anything, even in a nice way, if I asked, and this is how I started doing it, yeah, I would start asking very minor questions, because he would just blow up at me. He would get so mad that I ever doubted his loyalty, or if I ever thought he was cheating, he would just start shouting, like he'd take it so personally, start throwing strops. Mate, you're in your 30s, why are you throwing a strop? The whole day after I ever asked him a question would be ruined because he would go in such a mood. Literally. Like, and all the signs were right there, and I just kept ignoring it because I wanted it to be alright, and I'm just such a fucking mug. Because this guy was just so good at gaslighting. Don't piss me off. It just kept being arguments every time. I had no trust, and the other day, like, I asked him a question about someone he'd told me about from his past. One question, this man started cussing me out. Started going mental at me, cussing me out. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. He was cussing me. I was like, I'm not trying to start an argument, I'll literally just ask you one question. Cussing me. Babe, I'm not trying to argue, I just asked you one question. Cussing me. So I said, you know what, let's break up. Blocked him. Bam. And he starts cussing me on Snapchat. Blocked him. He starts cussing me on Instagram. Ignored. So a few hours later, he messages me and he's like, I'm really sorry about how I spoke to you earlier. I don't know what got into me. I said, nah mate, we're done. We are done. And all of a sudden he was like, yeah, I don't think we should speak, like, so I blocked him. Blocked him on TikTok, blocked him on everything. Now he's messaging me again today on a new number, trying to smooth things out. Leading up to the argument that finished it, like, I was getting those same gut feelings again that I've not had in a while. I was right about it the first time, and I knew that I was right about it this time. I don't have no proof. There's nothing there for me to know if he's cheated on me again. However, I do highly believe that he has. The other night, I had a message from God. As some of you guys know, I've recently got back into my religion and my faith with God, and the other night I had a message from God come up on my TikTok. It was this man preaching, saying God has tried to show you so many signs of why you should not be with this person, and you will never grow until you let this toxic person out of your life. Been trying to show you the signs, you keep falling back into it, you're not doing anybody any help. And I just got waves and waves and waves of chills all over my body. Waves and waves. And I just cried out. This might sound cringy to people who don't believe in God, but obviously I do. I just called out to God and I was like, is it about his name? And I just kept getting the chills. And that's when I just knew. I just knew that we weren't, it was about him, and that he's not a good person, and I can't stay with him. And since we have broken up, guys, the amount of opportunities I have received, literally, I have so many jobs booked for the next few weeks. I have campaigns with brands. Literally, my videos have not even gone viral talking about him. And I've received brand deals the same day we broke up. How crazy is that? God works in mysterious ways, and I am so happy that I have reverted back to my faith. Since we have broken up, I'm so happy. I'm not sad. I am so beyond happy, and I feel free. I loved the idea of what we had. You know, he was an amazing man for when it was amazing, but when I look back on so many things, I just feel like I wasted my time. And it's just shitty because I've already been through so much shit in past relationships. And he used to say to me, because of what you've been through in the past, I feel like God has put me into your life to be your protector. Bitch, what did you protect? Like, you didn't protect nothing, you made it worse. I'm less trusting. I really don't want a relationship. I would love to be in a relationship, but now I just don't trust. He was an amazing man, and it was all a lie, and it was all an act. So that's the story of how I found out he was cheating on me, and I hope it was worth the wait. If you're not already following me, make sure you follow me.
Yesterday I confessed my feelings to my best friend. This profile picture means that I finally told him and it went well. And then this profile picture means that I told him and it did not go well. And judging by my current profile picture, I'm sure you can tell it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. So let me walk you through my day. So I posted my video, I finished my makeup, I got dressed, and then he came on his way. We live in Phoenix, okay? So it took him about 30 minutes to get to me. That's why it took me so long to update my profile picture. Y'all are impatient as fuck. Once he picked me up, we got to the movies, we got our snacks, and then obviously we had to sit through the previews. So we ended up watching Nosferatu, which was the most boring movie I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't understand the hype around it. Literally halfway through the movie, I just checked out. I will say vibes were kind of off, more so on my end, just because like I was really fucking nervous the whole entire fucking time. And he kept asking me like, are you okay? And I'm just kind of like, yeah, you know, just like I don't feel good. It's that time of the month. It's not that time of the month. I'm a fucking liar. Like whatever, fast forward because I know y'all don't give a fuck. Movie ends. We did have plans to go out and eat after, but we decided to just go home. So on the way home, I break the news to him. And honestly, y'all, I was just real straightforward with him. I was just kind of like, hey, like I know you just got out of a relationship a month ago. I know you're still kind of like healing from it, but I can't like hold my feelings back any longer. I told him like while he was in a relationship, seeing him with somebody else made me realize, damn, like maybe I kind of like this dude more than just a friend. And I explained to him that like I wanted to give him time to process everything before like I came to him and kind of confessed my feelings to him, but I just couldn't hold it back any longer. And for my mental health, I had to like just tell him. Make a long motherfucking story short, he basically told me that he's not ready for a relationship, which I kind of figured and like I understand. But damn, bro, like I don't know, I was so hopeful. He did not clarify to me if he has feelings for me as well, and honestly I was too scared to ask him. I was gonna text him after I got home. If y'all saw my live, you know that, but I decided against it. But this morning I did wake up to a text from him. Actually, it was like a million texts because he's like a sporadic texter. You guys know those texters who like send you like sentence after sentence instead of just sending one big paragraph. He's one of those. So first and foremost, he had told me that he saw the TikTok because one of our mutual friends sent it to him. He doesn't have a TikTok himself, and no, he was not mad. He's never been mad. I've made multiple TikToks about him before, and like he never has cared. He has told me as long as I don't say his name, he doesn't give a fuck. So no, he was not mad at me for that. And after that, he basically just kind of explained to me that he didn't know how to react in the moment when I told him that I had feelings for him, but he just kind of told me that he doesn't know what he wants right now. He's just kind of out doing his own little thing. He's got his little side hoes, you know what I mean? He's having fun living the single life. He was in a relationship for like a whole year. So like one thing y'all were eating me up about in the comments was like having a hickey and then like, you know, confessing my feelings to him. He has his hoes, I have my hoes. I didn't think that would be an issue, so I don't know why you guys are worried about that if me and him aren't, you know? Anyways, but he still once again didn't clarify if he actually had feelings for me or not. So I don't know, I'm not gonna press it. I'm just gonna see what happens. He had also said something along the lines of like he doesn't want to be intimate with me because like, you know, he doesn't want to like lead me on or whatever the fuck, but which I appreciate, but also like I don't know, I'm just kind of like confused. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at now. I don't want to like get my hopes up and like expect a relationship out of this at any point, so I'm just gonna kind of keep it friendly for now, pretend like this never happened, and you know, if it develops, it develops, and if not, then oh well. I'll definitely keep y'all updated. I'll keep y'all on the loop. But yeah, manifest for me, I don't know. I'm gonna end up changing my profile picture soon to that one picture because I think it's really cute. So don't think that like it went well just because I changed it. I just really like that profile picture. That's why I put that, because I thought it was gonna go well, and yeah.
It's not that deep. Like, we can tell that it's not deep for you. We can tell that nothing has any depth for you. We can tell that nothing is ever thought out for you past the literal conception of the idea. All we have to do is look at the outfit that you put together.
Story time on how my ex-boyfriend cheated on me with his sister. Let's just get into it. So story starts and I'm dating this guy for like a year. We were the type of couple that was like, oh my god, like they're gonna last forever, like they're literally perfect. So he has this sister and she's like half a year younger than him. It's like not that crazy of an age difference, it's really close. So we all went to the same school and literally she hated me for no reason. Like her whole family loved me but her. First couple of months of us dating, like it was never like weird. I never had any suspicion. He was actually quite literally rude to his sister, so like I wouldn't ever think anything of it. I mean, no one really does that, so it's, yeah. Anyways, this girl hated me for literally no reason, hated my guts, and talked bad about me around the whole entire school. But you know what? I let it slide because I loved his family and we were together, and I was like, why would I let your little sister stop me from dating you? I'm not gonna let that break us up. Anyways, that should have been my first red flag because he would tell me that I'm insane and I need to get over it. But yeah, that was really weird. Plus, my friends thought it was really weird, especially how he didn't really do anything. He just let it happen. So yeah, I should have took that as my first red flag because that's insane. You're not gonna do anything when your sister is bashing me around the whole entire school and to everybody. As time went on, like I would come over to their house and he was always like kind of weird with his sister. With his sister or not, he'd always make like really weird remarks about like how she looked and her body looked. It low-key kind of brushed me off like really weird, but I was like, okay, like that's his sister, like nothing weird like that, because who would think that you're banging your little sister? Not me. So one day I was planning on going to my friend's house and I told him, and he was like kind of being really weird about it. He was also just like a really controlling person. Like he would never let me hang out with my friends or anything or even go out. So I was just like, whatever, I didn't think much of it. We end up arguing and then I finally get to go because like he gets to go anywhere whenever he wants. So it's not really fair. So I was just hanging out with my friend in her bed and my boyfriend was just acting really weird. Like, a weird that he's never acted before. Like he's like ghosting me and not talking to me. Just really weird, something he never did before. It made me feel so weird. So in his neighborhood, there's like a park. And mind you, this was like 10 o'clock at night. So his location is set at the park for like 30 minutes. And I'm like, okay, like whatever. He's probably just hanging out at the park. It just made me feel really weird because he was acting really weird. And it's just like, why are you acting like that? So after like 30 minutes, he was still at the park for like an hour. So he completely ghosted me. And I was like, you know what? Why don't we just walk to the park? So that's exactly what I did. Me and my friend walked to the park without him knowing, and I turned off my location. So we get to the park, and mind you, like you couldn't be able to see us. Like he wouldn't have been able to see us. It was so dark. So I was like, this is like low-key perfect. Like what if I catch him doing something? Like I didn't want to, but like I was like, you know what, for the plan. So as we get closer to the park, I hear talking and yeah. And it's a girl, so I look at my friend like, oh, heck. So we get quiet and creep up on them. As I get close enough to see them, I see his sister and him. I see them doing something crazy that you should never do with your sister. You guys can kind of pick up what I'm putting down. So as soon as I see them, I immediately yelled out like, oh my god, and they immediately turn their head. And when I tell you, they were shaking. I can't even like tell you what I said. I was just like so disgusted. I was like, that's your sister. And he was saying the usual, like, it's not what you think, I promise, like I can explain. His sister's just over there like shaking in her boots. I was just literally so disgusted and I was like, oh hell no, like we're leaving right now. Because what does one do in that situation when you see your boyfriend doing a squirrel dance on his sister? Like, immediately broke up with him, and then after that, for months, he told people that I cheated on him. Low-key didn't tell people that he did the renegade on his sister because like that's crazy and I'm not that bad of a person, but you want to see that I cheated on her. Anyways guys, that's my lore. So follow me if you guys want more crazy story times because I have way more than this. So I love you guys so much. Bye.
Hey, I'll get ready when I say some weird things my ex-best friend did. Okay, so first, for context, this is my best friend from 7th grade to like my sophomore year, my junior year. Yeah, I think like we were best friends, but like we were like on and off. Like we would go like months without talking, and then we just randomly start talking again. It was really weird. First of all, this girl's like the biggest pick me like of like them all. She was like pick me up the pick me like, you know. So no, yeah. Like God forbid a boy wants to talk to me. Oh, now she had to make it all about her. It was so annoying. Like it used to piss me off so bad. Like she had to make everything about her all the time. Like boy like friend that I had, she had to like be talking to them, had to be involved in their life, had to be like know everything about them. She had to talk to them. Like it was so like, for instance, there was this boy from my summer camp and I introduced him one time and we were playing Fortnite because this was like 20 I want to say 2018 2019. So like, we started playing Fortnite stuff and it was just me and him were like talking, like sure I was like 12, but she had to have his Fortnite, his number, his Instagram, everything. She had to talk to him all the time. They started talking more than I talked to him and it was really annoying. I was like, bro, like just take it. Like it was a little stuff like that. Or like even like I had this like there's a boyfriend I had and she like literally had like a whole nickname for him. She was talking to him. It was so annoying. Like girl, just keep. Or like in the 7th grade there was this one boy I liked in particular and I don't think I even told her I liked him. I think because I already knew what was gonna happen. I don't think I told her, but somehow she found out. Maybe one of my other friends, maybe like she could just tell, but she took him. He was touching me. But it's like I can't really get mad because I don't even know if she knew that like I liked him, but I think she knew. I think she took him just because she knew. Like, no, I don't think she really liked him for it either. Like, and like, don't even let her like attempt to compliment me. Look. Nice slippery. There you go. But yeah, don't let her even attempt to compliment me. It was always backhanded compliments. And then one time she was like, oh, I like we were talking about facial features or something like that. She's like, oh, I like your lips. They're like bigger than mine. And I feel like she was trying to be funny. I she was trying to be funny. I guess she thought like I would think that was a bad thing to have big lips, but like, but everybody wants big lips, so I was like, what does that even? Anyways, that's it. But let me know if you guys want part 2, because I can give like 1,000 of these story times because people are always doing me wrong. So.